Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Savannah. I am from near Cleveland, Ohio, and I am currently on my 5th EF Ultimate Break trip, currently in London. So I'm actually doing 2 trips there back to back. This first one's going to be London and Scotland. I'll be here in London for about 3 days. So yesterday I started my journey here. I had my first flight from Cleveland to Charlotte, and then my second flight, which was from Charlotte to London. So far today we got here, we landed, met a few other people on the trip so far. In a couple hours here we're gonna meet up, have a little walking tour near our hotel, and then I have a welcome dinner so we can all get to know each other. But I figured in the meantime I would show you my room. I have one roommate for the next 3 days while we're in London. In Edinburgh we're staying in a hostel, so I'll have more roommates. But this is our room. It's already a little bit of a mess. These are our 2 beds, and then in here we have just a cute little bathroom and a shower. But I went and grabbed a bite to eat when I got here and some coffee. So now I'm just waiting for a little bit longer before we all meet up. So the first night in London has finished. We just got back from our welcome dinner. It was delicious. Got to sit and meet a couple other people from my group, and then some people were still walking around with our tour director a little bit more. Some of us weren't feeling great and kind of just needed to come back and rest. Now we're back, relaxing, gonna get some sleep before we wake up, have breakfast, and have a actual guided tour with a local tour here in London. And I'm excited to see what the rest of this trip brings. Good morning. It is day 2 of the trip, day 2 in London. I woke up this morning probably around 6:30. Wasn't necessarily my intention to wake up that early, but I just was up that early, so I decided to go right next door and get a coffee from Starbucks, and then went down to the lobby and had some breakfast with a few of the other people on my trip. Now I'm back in the room, about to pick out an outfit and start getting ready, and then head down to the lobby to meet the rest of my group before we go and meet a local guide for a sightseeing tour.
Wasn't much to do in a day. You'd get out of bed, you'd get dressed, make some sandwiches, and then you'd get either gin or beer. You wouldn't get water to drink. The water in London was disgusting. Gin or beer is what you drank, and I have to tell you, hundreds of years later, in my house, nothing has changed. And you would come down to where we are right now to see who was for the chop, literally. Now this is where we used to have public executions, and where we're standing, you can see names inscribed on these plaques of the people executed on this site. You had to be somebody pretty major to be brought here. Walter Raleigh, the great explorer. Thomas More, great friend of Henry VIII. You had to be nobility, aristocracy, a member of society, and it was a nasty business. There is one name inscribed just here, James, Duke of Monmouth, 1685. This is said to be one of the worst executions in the history of the Tower. Very often the executioner was drunk. Very often the blade on the axe was blunt. It took 5 attempts to get the job finished. Did you enjoy your breakfast? Good. When they got the job done, they realised, oops, there's a bit of a problem. They didn't have a portrait of the Duke, and back in these times it was customary to have portraits of royalty and aristocracy. According to the legend, they sewed the Duke of Monmouth's head back on, they painted the portrait, and you can see it even today in the National Portrait Gallery by Trafalgar Square. Some people have remarked that he looks really lifeless in it. Work with me, people. Coronation through that doorway. 29th of April 2011 was our last royal wedding here, William and Kate, through that door. The last royal funeral, 2002, the Queen Mother, through here. And the last coronation, June the 2nd, 1953. To try and convey this idea of a world church, look from the left going inwards. The Holt statue, can you see a woman wearing a veil? That's Elizabeth of Russia, granddaughter of Queen Victoria. She married a Russian Grand Duke. In 1918, Elizabeth was murdered by the Bolsheviks in a mine shaft, and today within the Russian Orthodox religion, she was made a saint. To the right of her, can you see there's a man standing with a child down at his feet? Martin Luther King, son of a Baptist minister, assassinated in Memphis in 1968, 39 years old. Right of him, there's a man holding a child in his arms, Oscar Romero from El Salvador in Central America. Roman Catholic bishop, spoke out about abuse of civil rights in his home country, compiled 7 dossiers to present to the Pope in Rome about abuse of civil rights. He was assassinated whilst taking Mass. So you see just those 3, Russian Orthodox, Baptist, Roman Catholic. So what they want to say to you is, officially, Church of England, unofficially, it's the Church of the world.
Good morning from London again. It is officially day 3 in London, which is actually our last day in London. Myself, I will be coming back here in a couple of days to start a second trip because I'm doing 2 back-to-back trips with EF. So before I tell you about what I'm going to do today, I figured I'd tell you a little bit about what I ended up doing yesterday. So I woke up, went and had some breakfast downstairs at the hotel, and then we ended up getting ready and meeting up with the rest of our group to have a local guide show us around London, and I honestly loved it. I'm obsessed with the buildings. They are just absolutely beautiful. We walked around for a good probably 3 or 4 hours. We ended probably around noon or so. And then most of our group went and did an extra excursion. They went and did the London Eye and a river cruise. I chose not to do that, and same with a few other people. So me and my roommate Brianna went and ended up getting lunch. And then after that we walked around for a couple more hours, just seeing other parts of London that we had briefly seen on day 1 on our way to dinner. So we walked around for a couple hours and saw a bunch of different bookstores and just walking the streets and stuff. It was really fun, super beautiful. Like I said, I am obsessed with the buildings here. They are just gorgeous. And then I came back. I was just going to take a nap, which pretty much turned into me sleeping the entire night. Am I mad or upset at myself that I did that? Honestly, no. Because I have a full free day today, so I'm going to spend most of it by myself, if not all of it. And then, like I said, I'm coming back to London in a couple of days. So I am not upset that I slept half of my day yesterday. But today I woke up and had some breakfast again, and now I just got ready. And I'm about to go head to Buckingham Palace. Hopefully to see the changing of the guards, and then just kind of walking around, and then go see a couple markets and an art gallery. And then this is what I am currently wearing today. It's just a little dress from Shein, and then I have my white checkered Vans. Just have my hair tied back a little bit. So day 3 in London is starting to come to an end. It was honestly a really fun day. Don't mind if I sound weird. I do have a lemon drop candy that I am trying from here. But so woke up to plan out my day. I ended up meeting up with another person on tour named Drew, and we decided to go see the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. It was extremely busy, and since I'm a little bit shorter, it was a little hard to see some things, but I did get to see a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. Definitely something I was happy to experience. After that, we went over to Camden Market, and we, at first, when we were walking down, we're like, oh, just kind of like iffy, like souvenir shops, but like really cheap ones. We decided to keep walking a little bit more, where we actually found like Camden Market and started to actually explore, and we ended up really loving it, going to a bunch of shops. I did actually find this really cool vintage camera, and according to the lady I bought it from, it does still work. And I bought it for only 60 pounds. Back in the States, it would be a lot more than that. So it's a film camera. I don't remember what year it's from, but it's gonna be my new favorite toy. I'm excited for it. And then after that, he grabbed a bite to eat while we were down there. I grabbed a churro. It was a churro stuffed with Nutella and had white chocolate and strawberries on top. It was honestly delicious. So after that, we kind of went into near like the Soho kind of area, and we ended up going to a couple of bookstores, and then we went to the National Gallery. It was super pretty. You got to see some cool paintings, some Vincent van Goghs, and honestly, super fun. We went with James and Miranda, and then after that we walked around a little bit and went to a few more bookstores, and then we came back to the hotel, freshened up a little bit, and met 2 other people. We all went and grabbed lunch, and then went over to a market, and we each kind of grabbed a different kind of candy from here that's not something that we can get in the US. And now we are about to just kind of hang out downstairs for a little bit and then come back up, and I'm going to pack because we are flying from London to Edinburgh tomorrow.